There are always tracks that a driver looks forward to more than any other. One of them, without question, is the 4-mile ribbon of tarmac that winds through the Kettle Moraine Forest just outside of Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. But it's been a number of years, since 2009, since the Pirelli World Challenge made its last appearance here. That's about to change. We are ready for racing in the Pirelli World Challenge at Road America. Hi everybody, and welcome to the Recaro Fan Zone here in the paddock at Wisconsin's Road America. Boy, is it a joy to be able to say that as the Pirelli World Challenge returns to this legendary, daunting, fast, any adjective you want, you can probably use it some way to describe this track. We are here for the Cadillac Grand Prix of Road America, rounds 7 and 8 of both the GT and GTS categories, but also today, the three touring car divisions. I'm Greg Creamer, joined by Jeff Lepper. And Jeff, it is a joy to have this series back at Road America. And for the touring car divisions, it's not just a joy, it's an extra special challenge with these long straights.
Oh yeah, you look at the TCB category, TCA and TCB, but TCB is where you got to focus on. Small displacement, low horsepower, subcompact cars down these long straightaways. But handling too, so you got half the track great handling, half the track you need the horsepower. It's going to see how it plays out in the touring car categories.
Well, absolutely, and for the touring car divisions, of course, much of it comes down to something that makes Road America legendary for the smaller displacement cars, drafting. It is a unique approach that a small horsepower, nimble handling car has to play here at Road America. That defines our touring car division. So a bit earlier we thought, let's check in with some of the top guns in the touring car divisions to find out how you approach racing at Road America.
The car's weaknesses at Road America really are the straight line speed that we have. We don't really have the same kind of speed that we would like compared to the Hondas and the Kias. So we're really going to have to try and get them in the brake zones.
We lack displacement. We lack torque to climb the big hills here. Other than that, the car doesn't really have a whole lot of disadvantages.
My disadvantages in the Mazda MX-5 is it's just a little bit underpowered. It struggles a little bit in straight line speed, but my advantages here are I carry a lot more corner entry speed.
Yeah, you know, so far the weaknesses I've found are just getting out of the corners. The car doesn't like to get the inside wheel upset, so it starts to spin in the stock differential. So getting the power down or trying to soften it up to get it competitive. Great going around the corners, entry speed's good, seems to be competitive down the straights, but just got to get that power down out of the corners to be competitive.
I feel like if the car runs like it should, we're going to have good terminal speed. Acceleration, the car has always been weak, like I said, because of lack of displacement. But I think we're going to be okay.
So, I mean, really, I'm not going to try to overcome the disadvantages. I'm just going to go out there and run my race and hope for the best, hope for a win.
Well, there you have it. And Jeff, you've driven some of these cars before. You understand it's a very specific approach, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is, and I really like some of the comments when we talked about the goals of what these guys are trying to do. It really doesn't change on what type of track it is, whether it's a long track here or a short track somewhere else. The goal is always to get a win or be on the podium. Yeah,
I mean, really, in terms of the championship, you're looking for points. It's as simple as that. Now, there's a young driver who is deeply embroiled in one of the points battles in one of our most competitive categories. When we come back, we'll have a visit with him, so stay with us. We're back at the Recaro Fan Zone here at the Road America paddock, all part of the standing start, the pre-race show for the Pirelli World Challenge. Today, the touring car divisions are what are about to unfold. Yeah, this is a legendary facility here. Lots of great viewing opportunities, but without a doubt, the best seats in the house are in this small enclosure. These Recaro racing and car seats, and of course, they are available for your street car as well. You'd be well advised to get one for comfort and protection, that's for sure. We've been talking a little bit about the touring car divisions, Touring Car B, but there's a new class called Touring Car A created this year. It has already produced some remarkable racing. And we've got a very special guest to talk a little bit about that. He is a true rookie, carries the R after his name in the Pirelli World Challenge category. And Jason Cherry, great first of all for you to join us. Boy, did you come out of the gate fast in Touring Car A this year. A podium in the first race at Barber, added a couple of more in New Jersey. And one of our obvious questions is, as a young man looking at where am I going to go racing next year, what made you decide Pirelli World Challenge, and more importantly, Touring Car A?
Well, the marketing and media opportunities associated with the Pirelli World Challenge were very appeasing. We were originally going into a Formula Car series, and it just made the most sense for future sponsorship and marketing opportunities to step into this series where there's great following. I already have a bunch of great fans that are coming on board, and the TCA seemed to be the most affordable, yet still a great learning platform for me.
Well, it's interesting. When it was conceived, it was take the touring car B low-cost concept and apply it to the touring cars, which are a bit more expensive. Did that little money catch there? Was that one of the other draws?
It definitely influenced me. The expenses associated with Touring Car A are very reasonable. It's a great class to enter in as a rookie, to get into a sports car, closed fendered series, and to be around a lot of the great top drivers that we all aspire to be.
It's interesting, Jeff. I mean, obviously, as you would expect in the first year, not a huge number of numbers in a brand new class, but that hasn't stopped some amazing competition from unfolding.
Oh yeah, it's been close, and you've been a part in that battles there. But we talk about youngsters coming up, and Pirelli World Challenge with this built-in ladder system allows that to happen. What is your aspiration? You talk about going open wheel. Is that something you're looking at in the future, or you want to be a Johnny O'Connell in a Cadillac and GT?
I would definitely want to be a Johnny O'Connell, the Andy Pilgrim. I'm trying to make my career in the fendered sports cars. I believe that that's where all the opportunities are. And this series, this class, just made the most financial sense. And yet again, marketing and media, it's just great opportunities associated with this series.
Now with that, what are some of those differences that we see with the youngsters with Facebook, Twitter, Instagram that you're all a part of, and how has that helped you not only gain fan base but sponsorship?
Oh, they are just blowing up right now. The TV coverage here is great. The MAV TV coverage, the YouTube coverage, it has a great following with the series, and the fans are just really closing in on me and following all my race results, which is great.
Well, and those results have been superb. Obviously, we'll look for more from you here at one of the great tracks ever at Road America. You talked about, hey, I want to be a Johnny O'Connell, I want to be an Andy Pilgrim. Well, there's a great opportunity for you right now because it's time for us to get to the Cadillac key corners. And as always, it's one of those great pilots. In this case, Andy Pilgrim gives us a look at Road America.
I'm Andy Pilgrim, and this is going to be your Cadillac key corners from Road America. Long front straightaway, coming up to turn 1, a right-hander for us, 4th gear right-hander, braking right at that road right there. It's a very flat corner here, nice and smooth, a little bumps out there. You can use the curves on the outside. They call this 2, this little kink, down to 3, right-hander. Again, 3rd gear through here, and then we've got another massive long straightaway. Road America is really a tremendous road course. Reminds me a lot of Spa in Belgium. It's an amazing place. Got some really high speeds, great stuff. Now you've got a little bit of a turn to the left, and then your braking zone is downhill into turn 5. Right down there, very, very hard braking. 2nd gear, round turn 5, coming up a hill now. This is almost a vertical brake area. You're braking in here, you're trying to get the car to turn very, very slippery through turn 6, and then you've got a quick left-right here. This is the right part of it. Turn 7. Trying to use the curves on the outside, you've got to carry a lot of speed through there. Coming downhill here to turn 8, heavy braking down here again. The brakes really take a battering at Road America. Now we're coming into the infamous carousel, which really is 2 turns, 9 and turn 10. Coming into turn 9, this is the top part of the carousel, and then it starts to drop away here, and this is now we're in turn 10, apex of 10, come out of there at really high speed. Coming into the famous kink, which is turn 11. We just breathe off the gas through here. We're just crazy speeds through here. Wonderful, wonderful racetrack. And you're coming down like to Grandma's house, down to Canada Corner, turn 12. Really flying through here. Heavy, heavy braking down to 3rd gear, right-hander. Little bit of elevation change coming out of here. Car wants to slide out there. And then you've got uphill towards 13. A great left-hand, totally blind left-hand kink over the top of the hill. Through to turn 14, which is the final turn here. You really need a good exit out of 14 to get up the hill, and it's towards the start and finish straightaway. It's a long way up this hill. You feel it coming up. We're coming over the top of the hill, and then you get to the start and finish line eventually, and that is your Cadillac key corners from Road America.
Well, Andy Pilgrim has experienced the highs and lows here at Road America with a win in early Pirelli World Challenge accident, and then a huge off when a motor let go in a Cadillac going down into turn 5 in the Remington Cadillac years. He's experienced it all, but that look at this track tells you why all the drivers are so excited to be here. Jeff, I don't think there's any question. We're excited to be here as well. We're about to go racing.
Yeah, I can't wait for this as we get ready to start round number 7. It's going to be exciting, nose to tail in all 3 of our touring car categories.
Yeah, it is going to be spectacular stuff, a drafting battle extraordinary, everything that Road America promises. I'm off to the booth, you're off to the front of the grid for the pre-race out there. When we come back though, folks, green flag. We're going racing, Road America. Revs coming up. We're green.
Big move coming off the 3.
2, 3, 4 abreast in some spots.
Side-by-side action.
He absolutely nailed it.
Three-way battle.
And we've got an incident. You would expect nothing less.
Oh, clips the inside apex.
Very racy. This is going to get into
That is a brave move. What a pass. This is what World Challenge is all about.
This Pirelli World Challenge broadcast is being brought to you by the Cadillac V-Series, the 556 horsepower CTSV coupe, sedan, and wagon, the world's fastest family of cars. By StopTech, championship-winning brake components and systems for racing cars and high-performance vehicles on the street or track. StopTech, brake late, finish first. Well, I thank you very much, Eric. And indeed, we are getting very close here. Of course, things move back just a little bit for the nationwide stuff, running just a tad along. Trans Am qualifying concluding. And if you're joining us here on the web, thank you so much here at world-challengetv.com. And there's a look, if you're watching us here on the web, at the pre-grid, getting ready to let these cars out for round number 8 of the Touring Car A, and Touring Car B spec divisions here for the Pirelli World Challenge, all part of the Cadillac Grand Prix at Road America. We are anticipating being able to get it down to Jeff Lepper here at well, it's our earliest opportunity, so hang on a second. We'll see if he's ready to go down on the front straight. All right, folks, with that, it is time to get down to the front straight. Jeff Lepper ready to bring you some of the opening ceremonies.
Well, thank you, Greg Creamer, as we're starting our round at number 8 of the Pirelli World Challenge Cadillac Grand Prix at Road America for our TC, TCA, and TCB cars. Down here on pre-grid, boy, the excitement with this field here as our start for round number 8 was based on fastest race lap yesterday, and taking that race lap, good story here, the father-son team from Eastex Motorsports and Poland Construction, the Mazda MX-5 of Adam Poland. Once again, we need you to clear the grid, please. Oh, sorry, I'll shut up. Starting in second, driver of the Volkswagen Jetta GLI, Fred Emick. Finishing in third, first non-win earlier today for Michael DeMille, 6 in a row this week. Second earlier today, he starts third in his GrandAlarms.com Compass 360 Honda Civic Si. Stephen Doherty, your round number 7 winner in the Nissan GT Academy Skull Candy Nissan Altima, making their debut here this weekend. That Skull Candy team, he'll start 4th. John Miller, Mr. Excitement from North Tustin, California, in the Race Comp Engineering Collie Motorsports Honda Civic Si, starts in 5th. Brian Hochhiker, the North American Nissan GT Academy winner in his Skull Candy Nissan Altima, starts in the 6th position. And Carl Thompson, the team principal at Compass 360 in his CTF Honda Civic Si, starts in 7th. Onto our TCA category. In the pole there, your round number 7 race winner, driving her true car, Lucas Oil Radium Honda Civic Si, Shea Holbrook. Starting in 2nd in our TCA category, it will be Jason Wolf, her teammate out of Mount Vernon, Ohio, Wolf Trucking in the Kia Forte from Kinetic Motorsports. Starting in 3rd place, the Ernie Francis Jr. Breathless Performance in his Mazda MX-5, and Jason Cherry, the rookie, out of Gambrills, Maryland, in his Autism Society of America Mazda MX-5. Going to our TCB category, great story here. How about this driver, PJ Gronke from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and the Verax.ca Tundra Mulligan Gold Mini. He's not in a Mini anymore, he's in a Honda Fit now, back in his car. Ryan Reed starts 2nd in the American Diabetes Association Lilly Diabetes. Great story there. Johann Swartz did that race a little bit earlier. Ryan Reed stepping into that car now. Great development program that John Donner's done in that Honda Fit. Starting in 3rd, it's Michael Ashby. He was our Sunoco Hard Charger Award winner from round number 7 in the Morris Mazda 2. In the 4th place, your round number 7 race winner in the Radium True Car Honda Fit, Paul Holton. Glenn Nixon, the rookie here, made his debut, finished on the podium in TCB in race number 7 earlier today in the Racing.ca laptopscreen.com Mini Cooper. Tyler Palmer starts in 6th, finished in 3rd. He wants that win badly, especially with points leader Brian Price not making the call here this weekend in his Mini Mobile 1 Mini Cooper. Nathan Stacy, car number 14 for a reason. He's 14 years old in the Motorsports Development Group Ford Fiesta. He starts in 7th. Tom Noble, he steps into Scott Cooney's 4R Motorsports Rest Real Estate Hawk Brakes Mini Cooper. He'll start 8th. Austin Snader ran up near the top and finished near the field in his Fiat 500 from Texas in the Everett Fresh Corp SFR Enterprise Fiat 500. Andre Kiesel starts 10th in the Racing.ca laptopscreen.com Mini Cooper. Jason Fitter out of Jupiter, Florida in the Surf Fire and Security Mini Cooper starts in 11th. Kevin Fandozzi, I'm not sure if Michael Lewis is in that car now, but Michael Lewis and Kevin Fandozzi splitting that Fiat USA SRT Fiat 500. All for charity. Donate now at speed34.com and World-Challenge for Special Warriors Operation Fund. See how many laps that Fiat can do. Chris Capaldi starts in 13th in the from Imlay City, Michigan in the Wolverine Bronze. Capaldi Racing Ford Fiesta. And starting in 14th, it's Jim Cleveland out of Brisbane, Australia in the Mini Mayhem Down Under Motorsports Mini Cooper. Just getting our grid set here. We'll get the Trans Am cars off. We want to thank and join everybody that's with us here on the World Wide Web at worldchallengetv.com. If you're within earshot at the track of the microphone, tune your iPhone, iPad, Android phone, or computer to worldchallengetv.com and watch this race live as we set 40 minutes standing start for our 3 touring car classes in TC, TCA, and TCB. Going to try to get a quick word in here with our pole sitter in the touring car class. Got a podium here today, finishing in 3rd, but it is Adam Poland in that East Tech Motorsports Mazda MX-5. And Adam, boy, you're able to get that podium earlier today. Put down a great lap in qualifying, starting from the pole. What are we doing for the race today?
Well, I mean, really, we're just going to try to keep everything together and, hoping the car performs like it did in practice on Thursday.
And thoughts on the race? You got a really fast Jetta here. I know the Mazda lacks that top-end speed, but, I got some great handling for you.
Yeah, he stayed clean last race, and, I'm hoping for the same thing this race. We're just going to run it and see how it turns out.
Well, watch this number 11 Mazda MX-5. We do need all non-essential personnel to move over towards the fence, please. All non-essential personnel to move over towards the fence. Our Cadillac CTSV pace car ready to pull up here and lead the field for their pace lap. Cars will pull up onto the start straight. We'll have the Willen lights turn on. When those lights go out, we go green for 40 minutes of action here for round number 8 of the Pirelli World Challenge Touring Car, TCA and TCB category cars, all part of the Cadillac Grand Prix at Road America. Going back to our TCB category, ones to watch there has got to be PJ Gronke on the pole, set that fastest race lap in that Verax Tundra Mulligan Gold Honda Fit, all supported by Shea Racing. And we got to keep an eye out on Ryan Reed, the gentleman that's doing the Nationwide Series race as well, will be in that American Diabetes Association, American Honda Fit, starting on the outside of row number 1 in the TCB category. Johan Swartz ran that car in round number 7, and they're sharing that right up there. Just setting up our pre-race festivities here. So really quick, I'm here with Director of Corporate Communications for Kia Motors and Scott McKee. And Scott, boy, Kia, you did good here in the GT-GTS race, but you got a kid over here in this Forte.
Well, we do have a kid, but he's a really fast kid. So we're looking forward to cheering Jason Wolf on in the Kia Turbo Forte Coupe. There we go. And we'll have some fun with him this afternoon and see if he can bring it home.
I'll tell you what, with the success you've had with those Kia Optimas today, you probably got that on your mind, but we'll see if Jason Wolf can get it done in that Kia Forte Coupe. Just a few seconds away here from our command to start engines. Well, for those most famous words in all of motorsports, Director of Corporate Communications, once again for Kia Motors, Scott McKee.
On behalf of Optima Batteries and Pirelli Tires, drivers, start your engines.
And the engines come to life as we are getting ready for that 8th round of the Touring Car A, Touring Car B Spec Championship. And great to be able to get Jeff down there and do some interviews with some of these drivers. Adam Poland in this morning, 7th round of the championship in that East Tech Motorsports, Poland Construction, Mazda MX-5. Tell you, they had a dry setup on the car, and about midway through the race, the track started to dry up a little bit. That thing came alive, and as Jeff talked about, he put in an amazing lap late in the race for a fast lap to put him on the pole. But more importantly, he had an absolutely stellar run in that one, ended up coming from 5th to 3rd in the last few laps. It was a superb drive, and we're looking forward to that. Fred Emick just was very quick in those damp conditions. And for Michael DeMeo, who ended up in the 2nd spot, as Jeff alluded to, as we're getting some fog starting to move in here, this is going to be interesting as well. But as Michael DeMeo, 6 rounds leading into this weekend, one at the first race at Barber, the 2nd round essentially got rained out. Rounds 2, 3, 4 coming at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. Rounds 5 and 6 coming at New Jersey Motorsports Park. Michael DeMeo, 6 for 6, 6 wins and 6 starts, an all-time record for the Pirelli World Challenge in any class of consecutive wins. So a 2nd place, which most drivers and teams would be delighted with. I'm sure disappointing for Mr. DeMeo. Had an amazing start to the season. We'll see if he's able to rectify that right now. The problem is he's going to be dealing with a couple of guys like Stephen Doherty and Brian Heitkotter in those Nissan GT Academy Skull Candy Team Nissan Ultima Coupes, who look very quick in their debut weekend here. And John Miller in the Race Comp Engineering Honda Civic Si, that all-white number 68. Pretty strong stuff. Another great story here. Watch the number 72. That is the Compass 360 Racing Honda Civic Si, sponsored by the Children's Tumor Foundation, Racing for Research. Great programs there as they raise some amazing money and programs and research grants and the like to help defeat some awful, awful diseases in that team. The car, the graphic package on that, from a artist that suffers from neurofibromyalgia. I mean, it's really a great program that they've put together. And Carl didn't run at all yesterday in the 2 test sessions or the practice session because he said, racing is my life, but there are things a little bit more important to that. His son graduated from 8th grade, and he said, I'm going to be there for that. I'm not going to miss that. So we thought, okay, well, Carl will come here. He'll be fine. Didn't realize that Carl has never before turned a lap at Road America. No familiarity with this track from the driving perspective at all. So the first time he went out was on that wet track this morning, and at the end of the 2 pace laps, he pitted. And he said, I don't mind, going around here trying to figure things out, but not when my windshield is fogged up on top of it. He said, so I literally pitted, and on the radio I told them, put me together the classic old stick with a rag on it. And he said, that's what I pitted for. He said, so I'd do a lap, and then I'd reach up down one of these long straights and clean my windshield off with my stick with a rag, and then go back to it. He said it was a pretty interesting way to learn this racetrack. So great job by Carl Thompson. And again, in Touring Car A, a great win by Shea Holbrook and that Radium True Car Lucas Shea Racing Honda Civic Si. Jason Wolf, though, until he had his off, was having a tremendous run and had a very good lap there as well. Came in here as the points leader. Shea obviously closing that up a little bit. Then Ernie Francis and Jason Cherry. And in Touring Car B, great story. I mean, even though he didn't have the finish he wanted in the race itself for PJ Gronke and the Verax.ca Tundra and Mulligan Gold Mini Cooper, absolutely awesome story to have him on the pole in that class, Jeff. Welcome back, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, boy, I feel for you because you had to do it in the GTS race and work your way back up here. I had to work my way back up. Boy, that's a long way to go.
Yeah, but you got a tunnel to go through. You got yourself a bit of a hike. It's going to be interesting here too with this fog that's starting to move in spots on the track.
Yeah, 40 minutes.
And it's fine, yeah.
There was a little bit of mist down there, and it was cold. Boy, we're going to have to really get some heat in these Pirelli P0 tires to start making them work. But see the field coming down here, your TC, then we have TCA, then followed by TCB. But it will be one big group standing start. Those wheel lights turn on, they turn off. We go racing 40 minutes as your live stream coverage brought to you by Kia. Boy, I can't imagine how great this is going to be.
Yeah, this should be spectacular. And, of course, we had the rolling start earlier today, and they gave them 2 laps under those conditions to build a little heat into these Pirelli P0s. The rain tires at that point. Now it is going to be slicks right from the get-go. There you see, folks that are watching on our global web feed here, there's that little bit of fog. It's just on that one end of the track right now, down in the turn 1, 2, 3, and, of course, over in the carousel area. You get to the other end of the track, it's all right at this stage. And the thing that really is the determinant, other than drivers saying, now I can't see and it's a risk, the only other determinant basically is corner stations. If one corner station can see the next one all the way around the track, then we're okay to go race.
Well, of course, being a 4-mile road course, you could have rain on the backside and be totally dry over here as well when you run into that problem. So we'll have to see how the weather pattern plays out as we get ready to go, getting our grid set. We'll have the grid set board at the top of our field as soon as we get everybody stopped. Our Cadillac safety vehicle is there. We'll get the grid cleared. We're clearing pit lane now, waiting on Rick Wong to wave that green flag, and there that is, waiting on these wheeling lights to turn red. When the lights go red, they go out, we go racing.
All right. There's the 5-second board that will be displayed, and that means that the start sequence now is underway. So watch for those lights to come on. When they go out, we go racing. There they go. Revs are up. We're ready. 40 minutes of action here at Road America. As the Pirelli World Challenge makes its return, we are green. A great start by Poland. That is a rear drive car. You would expect it to get a pretty good launch. Emick absolutely could not get away with that front drive car. He's going to drop back a good 3-4 spots anyway, Jeff.
Yeah, he sure did not get a great start even with it being that front wheel drive. As Michael DeMeo into second place. Boy, John Miller trying to stick it to the inside of Fred Emick, not going to be able to do that. And Shea Holbrook able to stay in the lead over Jason Wolf, but young Jason Sherry got up to third place. And Ryan Reed up to, wow, great rain from him. He's still getting acclimated there. The number 57, Andre Kiesel, and his Mini Cooper, the Racing CA. Laptopscreen.com got a little bit loose there. He's off on that grass. Hopefully he can get back underway because we're on slicks now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I didn't see anybody around him that may have helped him there. But look at this. Michael DeMeo, he did not like second, did he? And he's down to the inside. Poland trying to carry every ounce of speed. Big go around there. Emick down to the inside of the 94. I believe that's Heitkotter. And that's Doherty.
That was your race winner from round number 7.
First round, oh my. And those guys, not a good spot. Cars everywhere. Palmer looping it as they come through. This is, it had all the building blocks for a Grand Carambolage and ended up not being too bad.
Yeah, but Stephen Doherty there, left rear suspension damage. Fred Emick damage there. Looks like both cars will be underway and be able to be cleared. But, Tyler Palmer, he had the championship lead if he could have had a great finish here because Brian Price crashed out in qualifying, not making this race, not making the next race. He's gone home already. Unfortunate for him. Hopefully he can get that car fixed back from Mid-Ohio.
Palmer's going to be frustrated to be sure, but wow, what a tank slapper. That was the classic tank slapper he was able to hang on to, and there it is, that left rear corner seriously deranged here for the number 94 of Doherty. Unbelievable after winning earlier today. He's getting both sides of the pendulum swing here, isn't he?
Yeah, you go from hero to zero that quick. Race winner to not getting through the 5th corner.
Yeah, he and Emick just trying to contest that spot in turn 5. Now, we'd already seen up front Poland trying to fend off DeMeo, which he did with that wild outside long around the outside run. But DeMeo is hungry right now and is hunting. And Poland's going to have himself, I think, a tough job of it. We know DeMeo is awfully good in this car. 6 wins to start the season. That tells you something. But Poland's run this morning was very impressive.
Yeah, the last time Michael DeMeo went down through turn number 5, he tried to put the battle for first. He did that in race number 7, earned himself the Cadillac CTSV mover of the race with that pass. See if he can make that pass again, maybe earn another one and the race lead.
Now those two come by. Now here's the battle that's shaping up for the 3rd spot, and that is the team car. That is Heitkotter in the number 93 Skull Candy Nissan GT Academy car with John Miller in that all-white number 68, the Race Comp Engineering Honda Civic Si, right there, 3rd and 4th.
Yeah, Doherty there, really appreciate Skull Candy coming into the series now for the first time in the Pirelli World Challenge. That got Nissan GT Academy drivers behind those 2 wheels. Was talking with Laura Tallman earlier, and she says, I just don't want any damage for the cars. Unfortunately, 1 car damage there. But how about PJ Gronke and his teammate Paul Holton?
Yeah,
first and second in TCB. Paul Holton started back and 4th up to 2nd on that. And PJ runs a little wide. You got to watch out for Paul because he was the race winner. Glenn Nixon in 3rd, who finished 3rd in the race 2. And how about Ryan Reed? Boy, right there in 4th, first time in the car today, and he's up into 4th, started on 2nd, still getting acclimated though, but was in his nationwide car earlier. Talk about a different platform here.
Holy smokes, you think? I mean, one that, car that's got just immense horsepower and one that doesn't have much power at all, but is very nimble and agile, and it's all about carrying speed. And he seems to have adapted pretty well here, sitting right there in a very competitive 4th. That's impressive.
Yeah, Paul Holton tucking in right behind P.J. Gronke down in the hard braking zone at turn number 5. There is safety crews here, so Paul Holton gives them a little bit of room to give those safety crews. They did alert all the drivers over the radio that there was safety vehicles there. They have that car of Steve Doherty on the hook, and they'll get him cleared off. We'll be able to stay green. Great safety crew here at Road America. Can't thank him enough, because that would be a 3-lap yellow flag. When you do that, it's usually 15 minutes of race time gone by.
Well, the safety crew here is truly absolutely one of the best. And, yeah, you're talking about, I mean, Holton here has a huge opportunity, not only with Price not being able to run, Nathan Stacy down the order just a little bit, and now Tyler Palmer back a bit. Holton and Gronke, who came in here in the 6th spot in the points, Gronke did, have a huge opportunity. Boy, look at the battle that's unfolding in Touring Car A. Shea Holbrook has the lead right now. But Wolf, huge pressure right now. Jason Cherry, her teammates actually got the lead. Holbrook second. Wolf, boy, what a great scrap is unfolding there.
Yeah, Jason Cherry started 4th, and boy, look at him. What a great start he got. That Mazda MX-5 pulling out. I thought that too. I looked at Shea Holbrook. I go, oh, he's in the lead. And I go, wait a second, is that Wolf in the front? Holy moly, great job from that young 17-year-old, that Avpro Jets. Mazda MX-5 supported by Shea Racing. Now Shea right behind him. Got Jason Wolf. I think Shea might actually go into one of those, I'm going to put my ownership hat on, let the client do some good here. I'm going to back off and slow these two guys down, but I don't think so. There's no team orders in Shea Racing.
No, and now when you look at the points coming in here, they're in for a serious battle here right now. And Shea, you know, she came in, even though she had a little bit better finishes, she had a penalty at one of the races that took some points away, and she senses opportunity right now in front of the guy who's got that point lead, potentially for the 2nd straight race. And Jason Cherry, well, it's good that he's part of the team, but, you know, you got to earn it, and Shea's just not going to make it easy on him. Right now, Cherry is not having an issue with staying out front. He is driving an absolutely beautiful race thus far, isn't he? Great lines you're watching. Yeah, we just got our, here's an idea of the fog scenario. Race Control just radioed and said, if you've got working headlights, please turn them on. So, well, there's that battle. All 4 cars in TCA covered by basically now the proverbial blanket. They've reeled in Cherry.
Yeah, they sure are. They're teaming up. They're not trying to run side by side, and they're sticking with those guns on. Let's run this guy down. Then we can battle out. We got a long way to go still in this race. A lot of special partners are all part of the Pirelli World Challenge, and one of those is Optima batteries. All cars in the Pirelli World Challenge, 73 of those vehicles here this weekend have Optima batteries. They do the Optima battery best standing start, and that goes to driver of the 78 Mini Mayhem Down Under Motorsports Mini Cooper of Jim Cleveland, up 7 positions on the start. Had that incident in race number 7, round 7, race 1 here today, and he recovered quite well.
I should say, yeah. Now that's a stop. Fantastic as we're watching this battle. The top 4 in Touring Car B, the 2 teammates, Gronke and Holton, and there's nothing in between them, and then just a small. Ooh, look at him up on the curb. BJ really using the curb in 6. Getting that car up on the bike a little bit. Now, this transition into 7, boy, that is a quick off-camber downhill turn. Always exciting. Ernie up into making the move into 3rd, Jeff.
Yeah, got around Jason Wolf. Not sure where that happened, but Ernie Francis Jr. and that Mazda MX-5 was kind of off the pace in round number 7. I talked to him. He says, yeah, we thought that we were faster in practice with older tires, so we didn't want to put stickers on for the race. One of those weird things that he thought, and sure enough, the tires fell off. With his Mazda MX-5, he just overdrove him, he said. He says, I can't overdrive these Pirelli P0, put a new set on, and it's paying off for him in 3rd place.
Just so you know, folks, up front, Adam Poland is clocking fast lap, a 2:30.6 for Poland right now. And just driving beyond. Oh, look at this. Shea Holbrook has caught her young teammate, Jason Cherry. And this is the battle for the lead. Down into turn 1, not quite enough. Look at this move, trying to come around the outside. Wolf, can he get it done around the outside on Ernie Francis in the Mazda? They're still side by side. This is the little kink that is turn 2. Down into turn 3. And that should have the inside pretty well set there. Let's see if Ernie is able to make it work. He does, and hangs on. But again, Wolf Jeff just gets a great launch, pops, and this is going to give him the inside to 5 if he can stay there.
Yeah, we saw him get through turn 3 there and turn 2, kind of backed up a little bit. He does it. Pure power there from that Kia Forte Coupe getting around that Mazda MX-5. Mazda's a little bit more nimble and less weight down here in the braking zone. We'll see if Ernie can try to make a move back on him. He's all over the ABS. You see the rear of that car dancing, coming through 5, getting a great run onto the inside up to turn number 6.
Boy, and I'll tell you, this is a great run by Ernie. Wolf trying to protect a little bit, but Ernie is firmly there. Still side by side, Wolf trying to make it work. Now he'll have the inside into 7. This is a corner that's difficult to work, 2 by 2 all the way through. And Ernie, you see a little poof of dust there as he knew I was run out to the edge. But up front, Cherry and Shea Holbrook doing the smart thing. They are running line astern, and while these guys are battling side by side behind them, look at the gap they've opened up. That's smart by these two that are, different colors, same team.
Yeah, well, Jason Cherry able to pull a little bit bigger gap now through the tight, twisty stuff, which seems when they get down the straightaways and the long thing, that power of that Honda Civic really able to reel in that Mazda MX-5. It's going to be like we saw in the GT-GTS race. It's going to be one of those handling that's going to make it happen, not the power, if she's going to make that pass.
Absolutely, boy, and I'll tell you, Ernie, those MX-5s are so good through these long-duration, high-speed corners, so well-balanced, so easy on the tires. You can see Cherry opening it up just a little bit over Shea, and you can see how effective. Oh, boy, look at this scrum. Touring car B, we have ourselves a war, Jeff.
Yeah, how about Glenn Nixon to the inside of Paul Holton, right behind him, Ryan Reed going to try to follow him in, and Paul Holton goes right through the grass. He says he wants to be a global rallycross driver. Now is not the time to do that as he's side by side with Ryan Reed coming out of 7.
Boy, this is amazing stuff. Reed did not get that wide at the exit of 7, so he's able to stay put down into 8, and it looks like he's going to be able to make that pass. Does he? He locks it in. A big sideways moment by Holton as he's trying to overcorrect to get the drive out of the turn, and boy, that's going to scrub some speed.
Yeah, it sure is. We saw that earlier, and he says, that's how I like to drive my car. I like doing it. I like to be wild, get my car to rotate. Not a problem for Paul Holton in that Radium True Car Honda Fit.
Yeah, but there's a little thing with rotation. There's a point of diminishing returns, as they say. When you're rotated, that's one thing. When you're sideways, that's scrubbing some speed.
Well, he put a superb drive in round number 7, led flag to flag there. Really a great job by Paul Holton, that young 17-year-old junior in high school in that Radium Honda Fit.
A superb story. But tell you, Nixon this weekend, he's been somebody who has been absolutely on form, driving absolutely brilliantly. Now in 2 different types of conditions. You got to love that.
Yeah, here's the battle for 3rd between Brian Hochheiter and John Miller. And we call him Mr. Excitement, John Miller, right there in that Cawley Motorsports Honda Civic SI, and he is all over the back of Hochheiter. Back, looking left, looking right, coming down here into the carousel. And it seems like the power, that V6 Nissan Altima, a little bit better power. Once again, though, it's a lot heavier car. Honda Civic SI, been great power in touring car. A little bit lighter, might have him in the braking zones.
Absolutely, and of course it all comes down to as well, the cars that you can push a little bit and keep the tires underneath them, and that's where the lack of weight is a big, element in that scenario. You just have to drive it smart. And Nixon now, this is for the lead. This guy is just on fire this weekend. He gets it done down into turn 1, dives down underneath the 66. That is the lead in Touring Car B. What a day for Gary Nixon.
Yeah, running. That's Andre Kiesel's car that he actually, we thought, destroyed at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. Actually hit the sand barriers at the pit wall end on the entrance to pit wall.
Yeah.
And that hit on the left rear tire. If that was on the left rear door, could have been a little bit different. Thanks to the build quality that the SCCA Pro Racing, the rules they have in place, and all the safety features. Andre crawled out of that car and waved to the crowd, and everything was good. They got that car rebuilt, and Glenn Nixon putting it to use, leading in TCB.
Boy, but he's under attack again, isn't he, Glenn? Gronke is just absolutely, couldn't even see the headlights on Gronke's car. He was so close in between. And then Reed, and that's a great story in and of itself. Reed, as you said, didn't run this morning. And look at the run he's putting together here.
Yeah, not bad
going
there.
For second, maybe.
Looking on the inside of P.J. Gronke up through the hill here. And P.J., says better part of Valor got out of it. Let Ryan Reed go back. Trying the over-under back to the outside. Not sure he's going to be able to make that stick. And Paul Holton, they're going to look on the inside and try to get around his teammate, P.J. Gronke.
Yeah, that's a tough one to do when you got that big right-hander for 7 coming up. You could do the over-under, but then you get trapped on the outside. Now he's going to try and return the favor down into turn number 8. And Reed a little bit wide there. That may have hurt his exit speed. And Glenn Nixon looking in the mirror going, thank you, guys. Just keep scrapping it like that. This is beautiful.
Yeah, you see them battling, and look at the gap that Glenn Nixon, like you mentioned, has pulled out. That's what happens in TCB. You start racing, and if you're not nose to tail, stuff happens, and you're able to have that car pull away. The best thing that these 3 drivers can do with PJ, Paul Holton, and Ryan Reed leading this group is stay nose to tail, work the draft, try to catch that mini. Maybe they can all 3 slingshot by him. You never know.
These guys are so fun to watch, aren't they? They are just, a lot of corners, it's just flat for them, and it's just a matter of managing it so you don't scrub speed. Look at this move here as he's going to try and come back at him right here. Grunke is, but he's again on the outside, and you get stuck out there. Now, yeah, Holton's going to duck underneath and say, well, thanks, I'm going to try and take advantage of that. Now they're side by side. Now the problem for Holton is that he's going to be in the outside as they go into the Billy Mitchell turn. There's room there, assuming that the guy you're trying to pass gives it to you. He did. Nice gentlemanly move there, but at the last moment, Holton went, yeah, I'm not quite close enough. And if I stay where I am, I'm going to be so slow climbing that hill out of 14. You just cannot afford to do that.
Well, that, and it's his teammate, too. I think if that was different circumstances there, you might want to go ahead and stick it in there and see what happens. 8 wheels are better than 4 when you're trying to slow a car up.
Well, this is true, but like you said, they're teammates, so you don't want to mess that program up. And Reed's showing plenty of speed without giving him help by racing behind him, isn't he?
Yeah, he sure is. And here's our lead battle in the TCA.
Oh, look at that. Boy, once, Wolf lost a couple spots again, Jeff, but now he has mounted a charge. He's gone around Shea Holbrook, slots into second, and he's finding some speed. He is closing in rapidly on Jason Cherry. The 2 Jasons are at it here.
Yeah, had a ABS problem in race number 1 here, round number 7 earlier today. Ran off course in the gravel trap, and he says it was in and out. They had a plug that they found that was loose on a connector. That Kinetic Motorsports team got that fixed, of course. No better team in the paddock than to do that than that Kinetic Motorsport team with this Kia Forte Coupe. And boy, I tell you what, as a driver at a place like this, to not have confidence in your brakes, man, I don't want to be Jason Wolf, and he unfortunately got bit, got in the sand trap, got back underway, but making a good show of it here, sitting in second, Shea Holbrook in third. Nose to tail, first, second, and third, Cherry, Wolf, and Holbrook.
Boy, look at Holbrook. She got a great run, got a nice draft. Now she's going to try and do it, but he placed the car beautifully, so she's going to have to go around the outside and is not going to be able to get it done. Now he's going to try and go around the outside. And look at that. At the last minute, Jason Cherry really got deep on the brakes, went late, but made it work. And that's the magic of that Mazda MX-5. It's not necessarily straight line speed is good. Ooh, look at that. Just kind of nerfed him over a little bit to create the opening. And Jason Wolf is through. Jason Cherry trying to do the counterpunch move. They're grinding on each other. Shea Holbrook trying to figure out what can I do. They're still grinding on each other. And Shea just dives in between the 00 TCB car, and now is going to try and make the run. They're 3 abreast, Jeff.
Yeah, they tried to make that Fiat as a pick. Each one was trying to use that, and Shea Holbrook's going to be the benefactor on this as she comes down to the inside into turn number 5. Jason Wolf has the inside. Jason Cherry, check out the dry. Wolf sticks it back in there, not going to be able to make that stick. It will be. Oh, but Holbrook goes wide. Wolf back to the inside.
Wow, I'll tell you, I think Shea thought she was going to overshoot that corner. She actually could have let that, come off the brake a little bit more, and I think been okay, but she just wanted to make sure she didn't mess up too bad there. Gave that one spot back. But, boy, those 2 guys up front grinding on each other like that. It's one thing, you touch, oh, sorry, but they just stayed on each other, grinding for a long run down that moraine sweep. And Shea said, well, guys, if you're going to do that, I'm going to have to do something about it, and had the lead briefly.
Yeah, she sure just stuck it right there, got all the way up into the lead, but then Wolf got back around her. It is Wolf in the lead, Holbrook there, and Jason Cherry first, second, third. They're so close we can't even say their names fast enough, as close as they are coming out of the carousel down through the kink.
It's going to be interesting to see here what happens at the exit of the kink. This is where it really tells you what car is good in that section of track. And they come out of the kink, and look at that, Jason Cherry, who was a good 3-4 car lengths back at turn-in, all over the back of Holbrook as they now make the move. He's glued. Let's see if anybody's going to try it. Here comes Jason Cherry. Late move down to the inside. And Shea saw it coming, opened the door, let him through. And I'll tell you, that was brave, but also, if it had gone wrong, he was going to clock Jason Wolf right in the corner, too. And everybody worked that really, really well, also, and give Shea a lot of credit to see it coming and let him have the space to execute that.
Well, you can really see that Mazda MX-5 way better on the brakes, lightweight, nimble. He's coming through in the braking zones and really being able to extend away and close the distance on the cars that are in front of him or behind him. I think in the braking zone, Jason Wolf definitely has the advantage. Can he get close enough to take advantage of the braking of that Mazda MX-5 and put a move back on Jason Wolf here in that Wolf Trucking Kia Forte Coupe?
Yeah, this is one of the things that I love sometimes, and it happens, and it's brilliant. You look at the class and you go, boy, only 4 entries. This isn't going to be good. Ends up being absolutely fantastic racing, and that's what we're seeing here. Because it may not have a deep field, but it's got quality. And again, Jason Cherry, boy, he just likes that last-second pop move. And when it works, but sometimes when it doesn't, those are the ones that really cost you big momentum. And it looks like he may have got away with it. Well, as I say that, there goes Shea moving to that left side, trying to set him up down for turn 5.
Well, we got Jason Fichter and Jim Cleveland here. Nose to tail. Cleveland looking onto the inside of Jason Fichter down into turn number 5. You got your lead battle in TCA right behind them. They're trying to battle themselves for position and don't want to hold up there. Wow, Shea Holbrook goes way wide in turn 5 in the braking zone. Side by side for those 2 minis. And boy, 3 wide down to turn number 6. Watch out for that, Shea. Why? She did not want to give up any space. And wow.
That's incredible. Multi-class racing, isn't it? In a sprint format where you've got no time to just be nice out there. And for Shea, that's twice now that I think she's taken the bait a little bit that Jason Cherry has thrown at her with the deep braking on that MX-5. She's really run it wide going in there. And, you just have to accept what you got. Get on the brake a little bit sooner. Get it woed down. You've got a car that's got good straight line speed. Make sure you're clean in your lines. That's your best option here. Shea will figure that out in a big hurry here.
Yeah, she just needs to hit her marks, put her head down, start running this lead. 2 cars down in TCA is now Shea Holbrook in her true car, Lucas Oil, Honda Civic Si. In 3rd place, it is Jason Wolf in that Wolf Trucking Kia Forte Coupe in 1st, and Jason Cherry, the Avpro Jets Mazda MX-5 in 3rd. And speaking of MX-5s, back up to the lead is Adam Poland in that TC class.
Yeah, that Poland construction car is doing just great. Look at the little bit of rotation on the brakes in that Grand Alarms number 71 of DeMio in that Compass 360 car. And again, it's just a matter of those MX-5s have tremendous balance. The Honda Civics have a little bit better straight line speed. And, of course, that the 66?
PJ Gronke, your pole sitter, off into the sand in turn number 15. You see his hands on his helmet. A lot of frustration there. Not sure. Hopefully there was no contact. But, boy, PJ has buried that car in the sand traps. Heartbreaking for this driver. Oh, man, I just feel for him because on the pole, was so excited. I got a good chance to talk with him in pit lane. He was so looking forward to this race.
Yeah, he'd slipped back a little bit from the pole back into 4th, and there were some cars coming up in a big hurry behind him. 37 Tyler Palmer, the 16 of Mike Ashby, the 14 of Nate Stacy. And they're all by now while he's sitting in that gravel. But again, Adam Poland, he had that brilliant lap late in the race this morning in round number 7. And obviously they have a setup on that car right now that is working to perfection here at Road America.
Yeah, Michael DeMio is the last lap by. It was Poland was about 0.4 of a second quicker than than DeMio. So Poland putting down some good laps, even with Michael DeMio, the 6-time Pirelli World Challenge, and up until today was undefeated on the year. So that tells you the season that Michael DeMio has and tells you what kind of great run Adam Poland's here having today.
Well, and what he's doing with it is he is carrying some amazing speed. Poland is through these corners because they just don't, they don't have quite the top end, but that car is so balanced and it allows you to go deeper into the corner, carry more mid-corner speed, and what then saves you is then you're quick at the exit of the turn. Now you may not eventually have the outright top end speed of another car, but if you exit a turn significantly quicker than a car that's got better top end, you're already faster until they get up to you, which really minimizes that. He is driving this extremely well right now, no question of that. As I think we're going back here and watching the battle with Fichter again. Boy, they're having a good cut and thrust romp at this stage, aren't they?
Yeah, they sure are. Andre
Kiesel,
the number 57, Mini USA, Mini at Charleston, Racing.ca, Mini Cooper. Got around Jason Fichter now as he comes down here into that braking zone and back into a Mini there. And Jim Cleveland doing a great job. Really pulled away from Jason Fichter there. That car's going good. So we got PJ Gronke cleared from the sand trap. He's back underway for those folks that are wondering what happened with him. Looking back through the order now, it appears with the incident from PJ Gronke, not sure where Paul Holton is, but right now I have Ryan Reed as our TCB leader.
Yeah. Boy, that's impressive.
PJ Gronke back underway.
And the one thing, talking about getting those cars removed, staying green, we talk about the great EV system that Road America has. One of the things, they have these things called gale lifts, which are these things that they look at gravel traps and laugh. Just the way they work. So they can run out, attach to the car, just back that car, either way, pull it, whatever, back out, and there it is. And they can clean up these incidents so quickly. It is really something what they're able to do here. And now taking a look, yeah, it is Reed. Looks like Reed out in front right now. What a great story. There is Holton sitting in second, and Glenn Nixon all over him in third. But what a story for Ryan Reed to be leading here, and not just leading, Jeff. I mean, that margin, he's got about 10 car lengths right now over that battle behind him for second.
Yeah, Paul Holton in second, and you mentioned Glenn Nixon there in third. He's doing a great job. Now, you talk about Ryan Reed as a development driver of the NASCAR Nationwide Series. He probably knows how to wheel a car if you get to that level. Youngster there, has diabetes. This is all part of John Donner's program with the American Diabetes Association. American Honda stepped in with this Honda Fit. They had Chase Peltier driving this car. Charlie Kimball in the IndyCar Series is also one of their driver coaches. A great program that John Donner's put together. Johan Swartz is one of their driver coaches. He drove the car a little bit earlier today, put that in second. Now Ryan Reed rewarding Johan for the work that he did leading in TCB.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Johan got a great setup dialed into this car, and now Ryan extracting everything out of it. That's just fantastic. Great story. Here's that battle for second, again, between the 65 of Holton and Nixon. And we just saw a glimpse, by the way, in TCA. That battle at the front of that is fierce. Jason Cherry, Jason Wolf, absolutely going back at it. About every time we see them in a shot, it's a different one of them leading. It is a great battle that continues for the lead in TCA as we watch this battle for TCB. Again, there is your leader, just flashing out of frame. Here's this great battle for second.
Well, Ryan Reed, that 21-year-old, is a Roush Fenway Racing. Of course, Jack Roush Jr. racing in the GTS category. Jack Roush, he's a development driver with them. He got type 1 diabetes in 2011, and it's all part of that American Diabetes Drive to Stop Diabetes presented by Lilly Diabetes. He races the Ford Mustang in the Nationwide Series, and here in this Honda Fit, man, just doing a superb job. Speaking of superb jobs, how about Jason Cherry and that AvPro Jets Mazda MX-5 battle on in there. As Jason Wolf down to the inside, he goes by Jason Cherry. Boy, it's the battle of the Jasons, which was going to be as they go through turn number 14 onto the straightaway here. Jason Cherry tucks back in behind that Kia Forte Coupe with Jason Wolf. They're getting around the lap car there of PJ Gronke. We got him out of the sand. He's back underway. But boy, a lead battle. These guys are swapping corner to corner for the lead in TCA. Jason Wolf pulls to the inside to protect down here to turn number 1. Boy, Jason Wolf, that car is a lot heavier, that Kia, over this Mazda MX-5 into the braking zones. You'll see Jason Cherry attack Wolf, but Wolf able to hold it through turn number 1. Boy, battle raging in TCA. We have a little over 13 minutes remaining in this race, so a little ways to go as Wolf loves this corner down here to turn number 3, sticks it to the inside. Oh, and boy, does Wolf shut the door.
Man, this is some good stuff that we are watching here in TCA. And I'm not sure. I think we need to keep an eye out for it. But Heitkotter may have taken that Skull Candy Nissan around DeMio up into second. So going to keep an eye on that. I'm not positive on that. We have to really watch.
Still watching this lead battle in the TCA category as Jason Wolf and Jason Cherry battling nose to tail.
Boy, good action here. And, of course, one thing we do want to talk about, Jeff, is we've got that great charity program going on with that 00 machine. And we've got a guy who's got a couple national championships under his belt in the car today and raising some great money for an incredibly good cause.
Yeah, Mike Lewis with the Special Warriors Operation Fund. Donate at world-challenge.com, speed34.com. It's a charity that Fiat USA and SRT Motorsports has developed as the battle in TCA. Look at that, Jason Cherry through the kink. You can't go side by side through there. I think Jason Cherry, the young 17-year-old, he just doesn't know any better.
Yeah, exactly. I think he made the move, and I think Jason Wolf was probably looking at his mirrors going, are you kidding me? This doesn't work. And they settled it out just right before they got to the turn in there for the kink. But Jason Cherry right now, I mean, he's looking in, he's looking out. Any opportunity he has, Jason Wolf right now, this is when you find it. This is dealing with immense pressure, and you've got to be absolutely inch perfect right now. So far, he's been up to it, Jeff.
Yeah, he's done a great job. Boy, these two youngsters, Jason Wolf and Jason Cherry, nose to tail, as we'll get caught back up to the action. Going to take a quick break here at our live stream at worldchallengetv.com. Tune in if you're not watching right now, but if you are, we'll take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Welcome back here on our global web stream, watching that battle for the lead in Touring Car A. And for those of you who might be tuning in for the first time, Jeff, tell us a little bit about this Touring Car A concept, because we're seeing it's producing some fabulous racing.
Yeah, it really is a nice close racing. With the success that TCB had last year, the Pirelli World Challenge officials adopted that into this TCA category, and we saw the battle here in TCB. It's just as close in TCA. Basically stock sealed motors, limited modification. You do it for safety, add some shocks and some suspension, and that's it.
Yep.
It makes the build half the build cost, and great close racing, great fun.
And this was a pretty interesting sequence of corners here we just watched as Glenn Nixon got down underneath Holton into the brake zone in turn 5 as Holton floated out a little bit wide. Nixon got it down up underneath him, stayed put there into turn 6, and then you just saw Holton run a little bit wide and go, whoa, big wiggle there by Holton too. Yeah, it's just trying to carry a little bit more speed through turn 8. And, at a certain point, you just basically you break the law. This one, the law of adhesion in physics.
Or physics,
physics. And you get that big wiggle like that. And if you were watching the GT race earlier, when Mike Skeen had that same kind of a moment going into the kink, and I asked him about that, he goes, that was the first time I was that close behind Andy running through the kink. And he said, I'm still really learning that this is an aero car, and I certainly didn't have quite the aero on the nose of that thing as I turned in. And unfortunately, we were able to save it, and we still had some a good momentum. Well, hey, big GT car, touring car B car, it still comes down to that law of physics as we're talking about, and work and traffic as well. Back to that battle in TCA, and the Jasons are at it again. And this time, boy, for a second I thought we were going to get another shoving match side by each down this straight underneath the Sargento Bridge, but this time Jason Cherry tucked in behind.
Yeah, you sure did. You get a good look there of that Fiat 500 of Mike Lewis out there for charity, donating on money. Eric Davis driving that always evolving racing Autotopia Ford Mustang gave $1,000 to Special Warriors Operation Fund, buying the helmet that we auctioned off for charity at our driver autograph session today. Wow, so how about that? Good hoo-ah there to Eric Davis for doing that. But Special Warriors Operation Fund, Mike Lewis and Kevin Fandoza driving that Fiat 500. Thank you so much to SRT and Fiat USA for providing that car. We've had some multitude of star drivers in that car, and you'll see more all season long.
Yeah, it's a great program to help raise money for an incredibly worthy cause. Oh, boy, I love this corner here. Down into turn 8. Carry every bit of speed you can, because now into the carousel, and it is a turn that is huge here. And you just keep building speed and launches you onto that run through what they call kettle bottoms here, down through the exit of the carousel and then the kink. One of the great corners in all of motorsports in my book.
Yeah, it sure is. And boy, Jason Cherry, you saw him. What a great driver from that. He just tapped the brakes a little bit. The car got a little bit of a wiggle. I saw the brake lights come on as he entered the carousel there. It settled the car down. He got a great run. This is the closest he's been down here in the Canada corner. He's great on the brakes here. There he is, down to the inside. Hard on the brakes. It's going to be Jason Cherry. Can he make it stick? Sure enough, he does it. He's back in the lead in TCA.
I'm a little bit surprised that Jason Wolf left that door that wide open. You might have come down right down the middle of the track a little bit and said, I'll make it possible, but I'm not going to make it easy. But, boy, Jason Cherry just had that figured out. Now, Wolf, a little wiggle there as he was trying to set up for 14 to get a run, because that car does have a pretty good top end here. It was a little bit of a bobble, Jeff, but it looks like it didn't cost him much. He got out of the brake just enough to get the car settled. Here he goes. But, again, Jason Cherry's going to say, if you're going to do it, you're going to do it around the outside. And Jason Wolf said, yeah, no problem.
Well, the key there was that Cherry was in the lead solidly through 14. Wolf took that draft, got around Jason Cherry before the finish line. If Cherry's going to get this win in TCA, he's going to have to put a gap between himself and Jason Wolf coming through 14, or Wolf will do just what he did and pull away.
Well, and that may be exactly why. Oh, we've got another good scrap going here. Suddenly, things have changed up just a little bit, haven't we, in our Touring Car B battle?
Yeah, Glenn Nixon got around Ryan Reed for the lead in that Racing.ca, laptopscreen.com Mini Cooper, and Ryan Reed back on his rear bumper, though. I don't think this is over, but boy, look at the all over the ABS on the back of that Honda Fit. You see it dancing. As second place, John Miller, our TC cars coming up through this leaders in our TCB category. Brian Hockheiser up in his Skull Candy Nissan GT Academy Ultima in third. Michael DeMio is in second. Adam Poland, boy, we don't see much of Adam over the screen right now because he is gone.
Oh, he's got this one.
East-Tex Motorsports Mazda MX-5.
Yeah, he's got a great run going. But you know what? This is a huge story for Nixon because he made up a lot of ground. You remember how far out in front Reed was? Now, that may have been enhanced by a little traffic. Maybe Reed had a bobble somewhere, little issue. But nonetheless, just a tremendous run here that Nixon has put together to get into the front. But here comes Reed. Boy, when he caught the toe, you could just see that Honda launch forward suddenly. And the question is, does he have enough momentum to try and do something down into turn one? Not at this point. Nixon will lead down through turn one. Reed tucks right back in behind in the second spot.
Well, good stuff here. I'm starting to be like the GTS race. I don't want to leave right now, but I got to head down to Victory Circle, get my interviews done here for MAV TV, as we'll see the race tomorrow and Sunday from Canadian Tire Motorsports Park on MAV TV. I know you have more details on that. I'm going to head down to Victory Circle. Boy, it's going to be exciting at the end. Don't go away.
Absolutely. Jeff on his way. We'll bring it home for you here up in the booth. And got some good scraps. And up front, we talked about it. It is a big margin now between Poland and Mike DeMille, pushing 10 seconds. That is unheard of in touring car. Gives you an idea of just what Poland has been able to do. But in the TCA, oh, here we go. Cherry gets through once again, and he's able to do it. This time he does it in turn 14, but not enough of a gap. Watch it here as once again Jason Wolf, a little bit better straight line speed. The car, that's the trade-off in the BOP in these different categories. That straight line speed is going to pay. And when I mentioned earlier, I said I was surprised that Jason Wolf left that door open so wide for Cherry down in the Canada corner a couple laps back. Now that I think about it, he may have done that on purpose because of what Jeff was saying, was to say, okay, I'm going to let him through and then see what kind of a run I need to get out of 14 to make sure I can get by him as they come up to the finish line. Now, of course, you can always try and move and bob and defend, but if you do that in reaction to the driver behind you, that's the rule. And I love this about the Pirelli World Challenge, is the way that they enforce blocking. They say, the old, well, I get one move, right? No, not if it is in reaction to the driver behind you making a move on you. If you react like that, that's a block. If you just drive a line into a corner, well, you're fine. That's no problem. And you're allowed to make any kind of a move as we get the white flag. Poland now, last lap. Last lap for Poland and the rest of the field now. But that's one of the cool things about the World Challenge is that it is, and the reason it was done was the competition director said there's no skill in blocking. We're not going to allow it, period. First move, fifth move. If it's blocking, and you will be penalized. So this is going to be very interesting to see how this one plays out. No question of that. And here they come once again. Wolf leading in TCA in that Kia Forte Coupe from Kinetic Motorsports. Jason Cherry in that MX-5 from Shea Racing. Just a great story there as well, becoming part of the team after the opening rounds of the championship for Jason. And boy, what a show they have put on in his Autism Society of America entry. And they're getting into some of this TCB traffic, getting around Jim Cleveland right there. That did not help Jason Cherry. He had a huge run going, and as he got around Cleveland, it put him offline getting into the kink. He had to dip the brake just a little bit. That cost him a little bit of momentum. Not a lot, but it might be enough here that he's not going to be able to make the move as they come through. Boy, this is going to be interesting. Boy, he's so close through Canada corner now, winding his way up through turn 13, which is actually this left-hander that they're going through right now. It used to be the bridge over the top of it, the Billy Mitchell Bridge. They still call it the Billy Mitchell Turn, 13. And look at Shea Holbrook, got an amazing run. When those guys got bottled up in traffic, Shea was absolutely a clean run here. She's got an opportunity on her young teammate. She's to the inside. And there you see that straight line speed. And suddenly Jason Cherry, who was going for the win, finds himself sitting third. And Wolf is just driving away right now. And Holbrook's going to see if she can do anything with him at this point. They get the white flag. They have one more lap for this one to unfold here. These guys, this is it. Guys and gals with Shea Holbrook in the mix. See what's going to happen here. And Adam Poland out front, he's got this one clocked. And Jason Cherry in the other MX-5 is going, oh, man, I was working this. I think I had it. And then that's that one little moment in traffic. And traffic giveth, traffic taketh away. And for Adam Poland, traffic has been no problemo as he comes up the hill. And again, we had him at something on the, well, he backed off just a little bit. And it was 9 seconds last time by. And Adam Poland, what a story. Getting the win. Absolutely fantastic for this driver. What a day. And Shea Holbrook has run down Jason Wolf. And that time Shea ran a little bit wide, and she just let it have its head as it worked around the turn. That was a great, great move for her. Poland, by the way, this year, a third, his best finish in the opening round at Barber Motorsports Park. But he rectified that today with a phenomenal run to the victory. But this is close. And here's your battle in TCB, folks. It's still Nixon. Reed. Nixon, little bobble. Reed trying to get down underneath. Reed had to dip the breaker. He was going to get into Nixon. That may have settled it for Nixon. It's a gentlemanly move by Reed when he realized, no, if I do that, I'm going to clock him. He had to get out of it just a little bit, and that little bit of a momentum switch, look at that. It gave him 3-4 lengths just that fast, and this should be a golden opportunity. What a story for Nixon as he's coming up the hill. What a put together a beautiful run, a great drive for this young man as well. Great story, hustling it up the hill. Glenn Nixon coming home with a win. Absolutely phenomenal weekend for this driver in his debut weekend here with the championship, with Reed in second. And here is that battle. And as much as Cherry lost that gap, he's run him down again in those high-speed corners, especially the carousel, especially the kink. That MX-5 all over the back of Shea Holbrook. Holbrook's got about 3 car lengths that she's off, and she's got to make the run. Now Wolf has a lap car in front. That shouldn't be a problem. If he's got the head of steam built up, Holbrook's coming. She's got to run up and over the hill. Watching for him. It's going to be close. At the line, it is Wolf with Holbrook in second and Jason Cherry in third as we complete the third of the 3 classes here. Wow, phenomenal racing across the board. And again, overall, Poland just dominated. His final margin of victory, I think DeMio at the end of it said, well, I've got a large lead over Heitkotter, and I'm not going to catch Poland. No use pushing too hard. DeMio actually backed off more than Poland did. And the margin now at the official MOV, margin of victory, about 10.5 seconds for Adam Poland. That was phenomenal drive by that guy. In Touring Car A, Wolf over Holbrook and Jason Cherry. But the whole margin for those guys, when you take a look at where they were, that was 1.3 seconds covering all 3 of them. It's about as close as it gets. And Glenn Nixon, what a story in the Racing.ca Mini Cooper with the LaptopScreen.com sponsorship. The true rookie comes in and brings home a win over another rookie, Ryan Reed, in his first start in the Lilly Diabetes of America Honda Fit ADA, American Diabetes Association entry that Jeff told that great story to. And then Paul Holton, who had that great run earlier in round 7, another podium for him. And Tyler Palmer, after the big tank slapper and spin down at turn 5, fought his way back up into 4th. That's how you keep accruing points, with a never say die drive like that. And there's Adam Poland as he's making his way down for the interviews. Again, this series covered on MAV TV, and we were talking about that. A couple of airings of the Canadian Tire Motorsports Park show tomorrow. They will air at 4 p.m. and 7 p.m. Eastern time on MAV. So if your cable provider or satellite provider carries MAV TV, I want to check that out. There was some great racing that unfolded there at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. Here we see Jeff Lepper ready to have a chat with our drivers for the MAV TV coverage. Then he'll be handling everything down in Victory Circle as well. As we're watching these guys, and they're just having some fun right now. Checker's already out. This is their cool down lap. But what a story. Those top two finishers, just first time this season running in the Pirelli World Challenge. That is something special indeed. Nixon and Reed. Pretty special stuff right there. And again, Tyler Palmer, Holton finishing in third with Brian Price not having, being able to run after his wreck in qualifying. And the other guy who was right up there in the points, Nate Stacy, the 14-year-old in the number 14, finishing sixth here today. Palmer able to come from dead last in this class essentially, get around Stacy, get around Mike Ashby, and slot into fourth. Boy, that's going to do him a world of good in terms of the points, with Stacy behind him, with Price behind him. The only guy who was racing was Holton, and Holton did finish one spot in front of him, but they came into this weekend only, by my reckoning, 5 points apart. Now, that changed up a little bit, of course, after that race here in round 7 earlier today. But, wow, great racing. And, again, thank you so much here. If you've been joining us on our global feed here on world-challengetv.com, it's been great to have you with us. And again, we encourage you to check out the TV coverage on MAV as well. But thank you so much, wherever you are, for joining us here on our global web feed. Always a pleasure. On behalf of Jeff Lepper, I'm Greg Kramer. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to wrap up the show on the web. We'll keep on covering things here for everybody at the track until Jeff can get his way over into Victory Circle. So on the web, thank you one and all. Have a great rest of your week. And remember, we've got GT racing coming up tomorrow. The final round of the doubleheader unfolding here tomorrow. Make sure you tune in for that coverage, which will begin at it's a good early start to the race here. 8:45 is the pre-race. The race starts at about 9 o'clock. Join us here on world-challengetv.com. Take care till then.